These are some of the new faces of the separatists in eastern Ukraine. These local recruits, joining an area unit called the Cossacks Union of the Don region, are on their way out of Donetsk for weapons training. Their targets are the faces of Western-leaning Ukrainian politicians, including Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk and former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko. It's been months since the Kiev government began what it calls an anti-terrorism operation to retake the east. But to these men, the offensive feels like an invasion by a government they're suspicious of for having turned away from traditional ties to Moscow. Sasha, their commander, was an economist and businessman in eastern Ukraine before the war. He travelled to Kiev and had friends there, but now he says no one there understands why he's fighting.
They think
that we are terrorists and pro-Russian citizens, but I do not think like this. We were born as Russians in our blood, and we are living on our land. As a rule, we have no contact with 90% of our old friends in Western Ukraine, and there is a massive lack of comprehension between us and them.
The use of artillery and rockets in built-up areas by both sides has led to many civilian deaths and huge damage to property. Instead of discouraging the rebellion, these men say it's obligated them to join up. Spiker worked as a miner until his village was largely destroyed by shelling.
A lot of my friends who I worked with before were killed. All the houses and church on my street were ruined. The children's playground and school were ruined.
The men say they're most concerned about the volunteers coming east to fight for the government, some of whom they say are part of far-right political movements. Weapons training ends with grenade launchers and a demonstration of explosives using old equipment from the coal mines. Despite a ceasefire signed in February, these men say they expect the fighting will start again soon, and they say the longer the fighting continues, the further apart both sides will become. Patrick Wells, VOA News, Donetsk, Ukraine.